that we need to take and how to do it. So the first part of that is the mantle. And what we're going to do first is we're going to go over all 10 movements. We're going to go over all 10 movements. And if you're over here in the YouTube, say hi to me. Let me know where you're from. If you're here on Zoom, let me say hi to me and let me know you're from. Hello, Kessa. Hello, Lucy. I'm so glad to see you guys here today. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you guys about what the first 10 movements of the territory are and what that looks like. So let me ask you something first. Has God ever handed you something you didn't ask for? And you were like, God, I don't know what to do with this. God, I don't even know if I want this. God, I don't feel qualified to have this. Not like a dream that you had, not something that you asked for, that you cultivated, not a goal you were working towards. Something he just placed on you. Something he just placed in your heart. And the weight was so specific, you knew it was for you, but you couldn't explain how or why to anybody. Has that ever happened to you? Give me a one in the chat if that is you, because I know that's happened to me. In fact, that's how I got on you talking to me right now. Because God gave me something that I wasn't expecting, that I didn't even know that I wanted until He gave it to me. Okay. So I'm seeing someone's in the chat. I'm seeing some people saying yes, especially over there on the YouTube. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So that also happened to Joshua. He didn't apply for the job. He didn't even ask for it. He didn't campaign. He didn't pray about it 15 times and say, God, I want this, I want this, I want this. No, Moses died. And God said, you're next. That is a mantle. That is something that God is giving you. And if you're in this room today, I want you to know that you have one too. And the question we're going to answer in the next 45 minutes is, what do you do with that? What do you do with that information? Let me go ahead and share my screen and start this slideshow. Figure out where I'm at though. Okay, sorry guys. Share screen. Okay. Okay, we're going to go into the mantle. Let's see. How are you seeing this? Okay, good. Okay, good. So, Joshua receives the assignment in Joshua 1. Now, just to go through all the movements, these are the movements of the 10 movements of how to take territory and how God shows us how to do that. So the first is the mantle. You receive the assignment. Second is you spy out the land. You see what it is. Three, God tells you to go and cross over the Jordan, to split the river. Four is clean the camp. You might have an Achan in your camp that you need to clear out that you don't even know about, or there might be a secret sin that somebody in your camp has that you need to find out that God needs to remove before he can take you to the next level. Do the weird thing. This is when they were circling around Jericho looking like some crazies. Find the Achan. This is where we're going to go and find the person that has that sin. Hold the javelin. You're going to hold your hands up in a complete, continuous surrender. Renew the covenant. You have to renew the covenant. It's about you. It's not about God. God does not forget about the covenant, but you might forget about the covenant because you have just gotten all this money. You have just got all this favor. You have just got all this anointing. You have just got all this information. And then inquire before you come into covenant with somebody or something. And then God will put the sun on pause and give you supernatural speed. Okay. So these are the cycles and in each iteration of each level, you go higher and higher and higher as you go deeper and deeper and deeper with God. All of these will happen again. Every time you need to renew the covenant. Every time you need to stay surrendered. Every time you need to clean the camp and consecrate. Every time you have to do the weird thing that God's going to tell you to do that does not match what people tell you that you should be doing in your business. Okay. So before we go any further, though, I need to tell you a little bit about me. I am Jeanette Peterson. I am not just a coach. I am a military veteran who heard God say pivot, and I took that seriously. And before I had a plan, before I had a method, before I had proof, I said yes. I said, God, I want whatever you have for me. And that is what changed everything. It had nothing to do with what I had been doing. It had nothing to do with who I was. It had nothing to do with how smart I am. Now, I'm also somebody who watches extraordinary, smart, genius women sit on their calling for years. Not because they're not anointed, not because they don't have what it takes, but because nobody told them the call was enough. You don't need to get ready in any other way. The call is enough. And that is what today is about. We're going to walk through movement one of the Kingdom Territory Framework. And this comes straight from the book of Joshua. It is not theory, it is actual fact. And I've watched people walk through this, and so I'm teaching it to you. So, this is the lie that is sitting in this room right now. That some of you actually believe that even if you were never to say it out loud, that you have to earn the right to carry what God has already told you to do. You think qualified means trained. Qualified does not mean trained. Qualified does not mean trained. Let me share my screen again. Qualified. Come on, screen, do your thing. If you are called, you are already qualified. The call is a qualification. God doesn't ask for anything else. He asks you because you have been obedient that you are qualified. He says that. And in the Bible, it says Kazak Amatz, be strong and courageous. And in the Strong's 2388, to be strong, to prevail, to be courageous. And that is the word that he uses because he's not saying you're qualified. He's saying, I have already called you. I need you to be strong now. And amatz is to be made firm, to be made strong enough to carry the weight of what is calling you. That's what he says to Joshua. 3 times in Joshua 1 alone. He says it like 15 times in Joshua. Be strong and courageous. He's not saying, I think you can do this. I think that you're qualified. I think that you should be able to do this. No, he says, I have called you. My servant Moses is dead. It is you, Joshua. Be strong and courageous. Go out and do that thing. So I want you to put your name in that. Be strong and courageous. Put your name, Jeanette. Be firm enough to carry the weight that I'm giving you. He's not asking him for his feelings. It's not like a compliment saying, I think you're qualified. I think you can do this. No, he's saying, go do the thing I told you to do. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. Because I've already called you to do the thing, so I need you to go do the thing. He was like saying, this is what I've placed you for. This is how I've made you. You are firm enough to carry it. I need you to believe it. I need you to believe it. If you are called, you are already qualified. And I want to say this again because some of you guys need permission. You don't need any permission because God has already called you. If you are called, you are qualified. Go do the thing. The call is not a qualification. It does not, he does not call the equipped. He equips the called. And the equipping happens through obedience, not before. So I want you to think about the Olympic qualifications. We just had the Winter Games. When an athlete qualifies to the Olympics, they have not won yet. They've been recognized as worthy to compete. The qualifying is the entry into their actual thing. The training is what follows. God qualifies you at the point of the call. Your obedience is the training. Your assignment is the track. You don't train to get called. You train because you were. God already knows. God already knows. And because he foreknew you would pick him, he has qualified you and he has picked you because he knows already, because he's outside of time and space, that you're going to do the thing. So you just have to believe that. You just have to believe it. You just have to believe the truth that already is. Joshua's resume, this is what he did. In Numbers 13 and 14, he was one of the ones who spied out the land with everyone, and everyone said it was impossible except for him and Caleb. Faith in God's word over what was visible was his obedience. That is what was qualifying him. In Exodus 17, 9 through 13, Joshua fought Amalek while Moses held up his staff. He didn't need to understand the full strategy. He just obeyed the assignment in front of him. Moses said, "We need to go fight." He said, "Okay, I'm down. Let's go do what you're telling me to do. I am your servant." And then in Joshua 1, 7 and 8, God's training instruction was to meditate on the law day and night. Do not depart from it. The word was his playbook, and the word is yours too. God's plan over anything else. Anything else. I watched this happen in so many women in some of my programs because one of them was going back and forth on like, Jeanette, I don't know if this is God. Jeanette, I don't know what I should do. Jeanette, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. As soon as I revealed to her that she already knows, that she already hears God, that she can already do the thing that God has been telling her to do, but she just needs to borrow a little bit of my faith. So I just encouraged her to go full into what he was saying. She has been thriving ever since. That first time, she made more money that weekend than she had in the past 3 months because she was following God's direction. I was driving in the middle of the woods one day and I got this message from God saying, "Tell her to keep going." I was like, okay. So I just messaged her, sent her a voice note saying, God says, I was like, I don't know what you're up against right now, but God is saying, do what he's asking you to do. Keep going. Go forward in that. Do the thing. And as I was messaging her, she was on the phone with somebody else, telling them that she thinks that she needed to stop doing what she was about to create because it was going to take too long to get there, and the suppliers in China weren't right. And she heard that word that God gave me to give to her and was like, okay, obviously I misspoke. I'm supposed to do this because God is telling me to do this. And she has been literally transformed by the things that God is having her do because she's following his direction. That's it. The call was there. She just hadn't fully received the mantle. She hadn't fully put it on. She hadn't fully accepted it because she was still operating in fear and lack and the mindset that she wasn't good enough to do what God had called her to do. And now she's doing exactly what God called her to do, and she's saving lives while doing that. Now, you understand movement one, but you know what the mantle is, and you know the call is qualification. But here's what I need to ask you. Have you actually received what God handed you, or are you still circling it? Are you still wondering? Are you still double thinking? Are you still building around it, building adjacent to it because that's what's easier? Or are you ready to fully pick up that mantle, because God is asking you to, because there are lives tied to that, because there are people tied to that, because there's obedience in motion when you do something. Because before you can even do something, and before you even can think about getting it wrong, God is going to guide you as you're walking it out. Joshua started stepping, and God guided him the entire way. He told him to do some crazy things, like circumcise his entire team, like cross over the Jordan when it was swelling and overflowing, like circle Jericho 6 times and then shout on the seventh. That logically doesn't make sense to somebody who's been in an actual war. He didn't care if it made sense. He wanted to be obedient to what God called. Here's what I want you to know about this framework, though. You can understand it here. You can intellectualize it and be like, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this, but still not execute it. Sometimes we need people to help us execute. The Aiken is the hardest to find when you're living in the camp. And the weird thing is the easiest thing to abandon when no one around you understands it. Because you're telling them, yo, I'm gonna circle Jericho, and then on the seventh time it's gonna fall down. No, you're not. You need to go actually fight these dudes. Why don't you go kill all their wives and children and their lambs and sheep? Because that makes more sense. No, God told you to do it a certain way. You need to do it a certain way. And the people that are speaking into your business and into your life need to understand the weird things that God can do. That understand how powerful our God is. That understand that when he speaks to you, it's not going to look like the way the world speaks. And the mantle is the hardest to receive when no one around you in your life understands how powerful God has created you to be and what that mantle is. And it's not that you're powerful on your own. It's powerful because you believe in the God that gives you life. You're powerful because of him, because of his authority, not because of anything that you've ever done on your own. That's what that container was for. Not to give you more information, to help you walk it out. Because when you walk it out is when your life gets changed, your neighbors' lives get changed, your children's lives get changed, your children's children's lives get changed, because that's the real success. The real success is in the legacy. So I want to tell you about 2 types of women that I work with. The first woman is one who knows her calling. She's been in it for years and she's built something. She's invested in programs, conferences, done the work, but keeps restarting or keeps pausing. She keeps circling because she's not fully believing in her calling. She doesn't have a good formation, good people to walk this out with. She doesn't have accountability through peers who can look her in the eye and say, this is what this actually requires. And I see you playing small. I know that you have more to give, and I see you playing small. Can you turn on my light for me? The second woman I work with knows her calling, and she's building inside a container that was built for a level. She has a room that can hold the weight of what she's carrying. She has intercessors and accountability and someone who actually meets her altitude, and she's moving fast because she is not building alone. Not because she's smarter, not because she's more intelligent, not because she's got more money, not because she's got more things, not because she's got more systems, but because she knows that she can't do this alone. And so she refuses to build alone. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about these 2 rooms. And one was built for women who need the foundation, and one is who's already in formation. But first, I want to take a few questions. Okay. So, do you have any questions about the Kingdom Warrior framework and what that looks like today and how Joshua has been building? Because the mantle repeats at every new level. Have you fully received what God has handed you, or are you still trying to earn the right to carry it? You don't need to earn anything because God has already given it to you. You just need to accept it, be strong and courageous, and carry it. Are you waiting for credentials before you obey this assignment? Or do you think you need to go to school? Do you think you need to get a certification? Do you need to go to coaching? Do you need to get this or that or this? No, God will qualify you as you start. You don't need anything to start. God is telling you, this is what I want for you. Go do the thing. What would it look like to say yes before you're ready? What would it look like to go do the thing that God is telling you to do before you feel completely secure in that? It means you'd have to trust in God. It means you'd have to fully depend on Him for everything. And that's what He wants, anyways. So, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? The mantle is the beginning. That is just the beginning. Next week, we're going to talk about see the land is next. And every 10 movements, repeat at this next level of authority. You're going to go through this again. It's going to be a new level of mantle, a new revelation of what the mantle is, a new bigness of the mantle. Mine, I'll just give you an example, was do a podcast, Jeanette. Okay, that's scary. Don't want to do a podcast. Don't even want to leave my house. Don't want to put on makeup. So I guess I'll do a podcast, God. Did a podcast. Oh, Jeanette, I want you to start speaking on stages. What, God? You want me to speak on stages? I want you to build out this program called Kingdom Warrior Bootcamp. What, God? How can I teach people how to be warriors in the spirit? Because you are one already. Jeanette, you are one. Okay, God, I'm going to keep doing these crazy things because you're telling me to. I'm going to keep this new level, this new authority that I'm walking in is not because it comes from me. It comes from Jesus and the authority that He's given me and is allowing me to use on His behalf for His women here on earth. That's it. That's it. I didn't start out like this. In fact, I'm not really like this. I would rather be in my office doing some jigsaw puzzles, playing with some Legos. Okay. But God gave me this authority. So I'm going to use the authority He gave to me to do what He's asking me to do because I love Him so much. So now that you heard the framework and you kind of know what movement you're in, but you also know that you've been building without a foundation fully in place and you're doing the right things, but you need them consecrated and aligned before you can take the next level of territory. That is what Kingdom Warrior Bootcamp is for. And if you've been through it once, you can go through it again because Kingdom Warrior Bootcamp, at every time you go through it, is a new iteration. It's just like this. It's walking you through it and doing it with you. It is going through all 10 steps with you. It's built just on this framework. Starting at your altar, moving through your assignment, your offer, your formation, your legacy, and then commissioning you for service at a higher level. It's not what you think it is. It is a consecration process that helps and restructures your business as a byproduct. Right now, it is $297 rolling enrollment, so you can join at any time at kingdomwarriorbootcamp.com or Kingdom Alignment Intensive. In that, it's 12 weeks, $6,000 for marketplace prophetic apostles ready to do the next thing, to join kind, to fully align their life and business. And this time I've got a bonus for you guys because I have been working on something that I have not revealed to anybody except for this room. I am working on a Claude plugin that will help build out your business for you, not with you, for you on your computer, that will build out your go high level, that will build out your Google Drive, that will build out your mission, vision, values, that will build out your Dream 100, that will build out your email sequences. It will build it with you. I have designed it based on my 7-figure systems framework, and it is amazing. I'm still in testing phase, but we're planning to roll this out within the next 2 weeks. It has already been so successful in the beta people that I've been using it with that they are transformed in their business because they don't have to do all the things that they thought that they had to do. They don't have to worry about making sure the Google Drive is set up. They don't have to worry about doing their mission, vision, values. It's already done for them. They get to do exactly what they've been called to do, which is show up, serve the people assigned to them, and do what God has gifted them to do. It is the best product I've ever seen, and I'm so glad that God gave it to me to bring on to this plane. So if you want anything like that, it is a 12-week program at JeanettePeterson.com/Kai. You will get not only the Claude plugin, you will get 12 weeks of prophetic prayer and intercession. You will get a healing session. You will get, with my personal intercessor, you will get 12 weeks one-on-one with me. And you also have a group session, so that way you can get with people who are on the same level as you as we're walking through this. And now the only question next is, which room are you walking into next? Are you going to walk into boot camp to continue the consecration process to help me, to let me walk through with you how to do this? Or are you going to do the intensive where you get to build everything out in a prophetic, apostolistic manner to build exactly what God has been calling you to do? Or are you going to stay and do what you've been doing for the last 12 months, waiting and waiting and waiting? None of these are bad. But movement with God in his direction can always be redirected, but he can't move a stopped car. So if you're moving, it's easier for God to redirect you if you get it wrong or if you're not on the exact right path than if you're just standing there trying to figure out which direction to go in. God can always redirect you. I honor whatever God is telling you right now. And if God is asking you to do something with me right now, then I need you to DM me or go to one of these websites today because we want to get started with you right now. I don't want to wait. We don't have any more time to waste. I feel so strongly that in this next 90 days, there's going to be a shift in the marketplace. There's going to be a shift for kingdom entrepreneurs. And I want you to be in that shift, that God is going to be doubling doors open. So I want to help you walk that out quickly with supernatural speed because that is how God helps me with things, supernatural speed. And because of that, I want to help you walk that out. So if you have any questions, if you're like, I've done programs like this before, you have not done one that starts with the altar first before it touches your offer. Most programs treat your business like the problem. The Kingdom Territory Framework and Kingdom Warrior Bootcamp treat your obedience as the access point. That's why it's different. I don't know if I'm ready. If you don't know your calling and you're still moving at full capacity, you're ready. This is not for women who are still finding themselves. It's for women who know exactly who they are and keep getting in the way of it. Ready is not the requirement. Obedience is. I can't invest right now. I get it. I get it. But I want to say something gently here. The woman who cannot invest $297 in her God given assignment is the same woman who undercharges, restarts, and calls God's silence a sign to wait. I'm not saying that to shame you. I'm saying it because I've lived it. I have done it. And I've watched the pattern in hundreds of women. The investment is not the barrier, the belief is. And that's exactly what the first week of Kingdom Warrior Bootcamp is built to address. Before I close, I just want to tell you what's coming in the next week. Movement 2 is see the land. Joshua 2, before Joshua crossed the Jordan, he sent 2 spies into the land. They did not go in blind. They went in with intelligence. And what they found was a woman named Rahab who already heard about their God and was waiting to help them. Now we're going to talk about what that means to see the territory before you take it, how to gather the vision and strategically partner without making covenants you have not discerned. You don't want to miss it. The registration link is JeanettePeterson.com/territory. Same time, every Wednesday. And both offer links are still in the chat. Kingdom Warrior Bootcamp link closes this week for the current cohort. You are qualified. The call said so. Now go obey it. And I can't wait to see you guys all next week. Thank you.